And like getting the flows and all that. And them niggas not even, like showing the nigga no love or none of that. Y'all niggas think y'all about. Just want to say to let the people know that this judge is crazy, bro. This judge is, she locked me up because.
Davis has finally spoken out after being taken into custody, following the events surrounding his fight against Lamont Roach. The fight, along with his involvement in a crime outside the ring, led to his court appearance on Wednesday. He narrowly avoided further jail time after yet another violation. Without a doubt, his bout against his longtime rival Lamont Roach has become one of the most controversial fights of the year. Roach was cheated during the fight, and the unfair results were announced afterward. Davis managed to influence both the referee's decision in the ring and the judge's final verdict after the fight. As a result, the World Boxing Association lightweight champion was taken into police custody. Since then, he has made some statements about what really happened, hinting that there's more to the situation than what people see. He subtly suggested that there might be corruption at play within some boxing organizations. The real surprise for many, however, was that despite the obvious cheating against Roach, Davis faced little consequence for his actions.
Basically, I'm going to property. I did everything in my power to listen to my lawyers.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
After an audio recording was leaked, the news about Von Davis quickly spread, sparking widespread attention. Lamont Roach Jr. is feeling extremely confident right now. You might think that after the New York State Athletic Commission rejected his appeal to overturn the controversial draw in his March 1st bout against Von Davis, he would have quieted down. But instead, he's still taking every chance to call out Davis. It's understandable to feel frustrated, but at this point, a rematch is what both sides want. So, why not just sign the contract and settle it in the ring? Before that happens, however, there seems to be some trash talk that needs to be dealt with. Recently, Lamont Roach Jr. got into a heated online argument with fellow boxer Lorenzo Simpson, who supported Von Davis and claimed that Tank would knock Roach out in a rematch. Instead of staying calm, Roach decided to throw down a $250,000 bet, bragging about the amount and challenging Simpson to prove it. "If you can show it to me, we're good money, little guy," he posted, brimming with confidence. But Roach has taken things a step further. Just a few hours ago, he casually threatened Von Davis on Instagram. Ring magazine even highlighted Roach's latest post, which stirred even more attention.
Keep getting money off of niggas and not whistling, not paying. Like, come on, bro. Y'all niggas is crazy. So we elsewhere with that shit.
Lamont Roach Jr. hinted at a potential rematch with Gervonta Davis in an Instagram post today. In the caption, the 25-year-old boxer expressed his confidence, saying, "I showed that I'm pound-for-pound talent against a generational star in the sport. I was born a star, but on March 1st, a star was finally under the microscope of the world. I can't wait to run it back and put on a show again. Part 2, OTW on the way." So, why does Roach consider himself a pound-for-pound talent? For one, everyone remembers that moment in the 9th round when Gervonta Davis took a knee. Davis insisted it wasn't from a punch, but rather from a mix of hair grease and sweat that caused him to stumble. While some people accepted this explanation, many fans gave Roach credit for the near knockdown. Roach, however, felt a bit disappointed. "Just off the top, I was a little disappointed," he said, reflecting on the moment, "for the sake of boxing itself and obviously my result in the fight." But is that moment enough for Roach to believe he's better than Davis? Probably not. Another reason for Roach's boosted confidence could be his recent ranking in Ring Magazine's latest pound-for-pound list. With Devin Haney taking Davis's spot, Roach now sits at number 6 in the 135-pound division, according to ESPN. This kind of recognition can certainly elevate a fighter's ego. As for Davis, is he responding to all of this? Yes and no. After initially stating he wanted a rematch by the end of May, Davis has gone silent. This is unusual for him, as he's typically quick with the trash talk. But this time, the 30-year-old fighter has been keeping quiet. When a fighter like Davis goes silent, it often means he's plotting something big.
Like the key that they pointed out the things that were actually done wrong, and there's still no movement to overturn the fight. just really saddened me a little bit. But I wasn't too.
If this rematch takes place, and Roach's promoter, Gary Jonas, is confident it will, it could deliver the explosive fight fans were hoping for the first time around. However, the real question is whether Gervonta Davis is planning a stronger comeback or if he's eyeing the exit door. Davis has already hinted that he might only have 3 or 4 fights left before he calls it quits for good. If he's nearing retirement, it's likely he'll focus on securing the biggest payday possible. Think about it. Does a rematch with someone like Lamont Roach Jr., who isn't a major name, bring in the kind of money Davis is looking for? Or would he earn far more by facing bigger names like Shakur Stevenson? Following the decision by the New York State Athletic Commission, Davis seemed to have accepted his fate, even though he had hope going into the situation. Interestingly, Davis had initially dismissed Roach, saying he hadn't done enough for the sport of boxing. But in a recent interview with NBA analyst Stephen A. Smith on ESPN, he appeared more open to the idea of a fight. Another potential moneymaker for Davis would be a match against Ryan Garcia, but that's not happening anytime soon. Garcia first has to defeat Rayleigh Romero on May 2nd, and if he wins, he'll face Devin Haney, assuming Haney defeats Jose Carlos Ramirez that same night. So, while a Tank versus Garcia rematch is possible, it may take some time, and that's time Davis might not have as Roach continues to stay in the spotlight, even amid Davis's court troubles.
In my view, that I have to come with it all. I have to do more. Obviously, just to secure the win is doing.
A Baltimore judge spared Gervonta Tank Davis from jail time on Wednesday after he admitted to violating his probation for a hit and run that injured 4 people, including a pregnant woman. Circuit Judge Althea M. Handy decided to extend Davis's probation for 18 months and also ordered him to make a $1,000 donation to the Community Assistance Network. Davis, now 30 years old and from Parkland, Florida, acknowledged that he had left the state without approval. His probation agent in Maryland had spotted him dining at Proper Cuisine on East Redwood Street in Baltimore on January 22nd, less than half a mile from the Clarence M. Mitchell and Elijah E. Cummings courthouses. Judge Handy mentioned that Davis's probation agent in Florida had been lenient in the past, granting him travel passes to go to the U.S. Virgin Islands twice. However, the judge also noted that she had given him permission to attend the 2024 Paris Olympic Games to support and advise Team USA Boxing, but she denied his request to travel to Japan for his 30th birthday. Judge Handy expressed that sending him to jail would not accomplish much, saying, "I don't like sending anyone to jail, sir. I really don't, but you need to wake up, please." She also added, "I don't ever want to see you in court again." In 2020, Davis had been sentenced to 90 days of home detention for a separate hit-and-run incident.
To the home detention, treatment. I listened to everybody to the T. She's mad that I bought a property. That's why I'm sitting in jail.
Baltimore boxing champion Gervonta Tank Davis pleaded guilty to a hit-and-run incident, marking another chapter in the ongoing legal saga for the boxer, who grew up in West Baltimore and holds a 30-1 record. Recently, he held on to his title after fighting Lamont Roach to a majority draw. In 2023, Davis pleaded guilty in Baltimore Circuit Court to 4 traffic offenses related to the hit-and-run that occurred at around 2 a.m. on November 5, 2020. Davis ran a red light at the intersection of Martin Luther King Jr. and Washington Boulevards while driving his 2020 Lamborghini Urus. He collided with a 2004 Toyota Solara and slammed into the fence of a 71-year-old woman's property. Judge Althea M. Handy sentenced Davis to 90 days of home detention, along with 3 years of probation, stating that Davis had shown a consistent pattern of breaking the law. He was supposed to stay at the home of his longtime coach and trainer, Calvin Ford. However, Handy later revoked Davis's home detention after it was discovered that he had been serving the sentence at a Four Seasons hotel and a $3.4 million penthouse condo in Los Angeles. In a now-deleted Instagram Live video, Davis called Judge Handy crazy and claimed, "She locked me up because basically I bought a property."
You know what I mean? And I couldn't even, take that. You know what I mean? She wanted me to stay in a one-bed apartment, couldn't have my kids and nothing come visit me and things like that. I just want to spread light on this situation.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis spent more than 6 weeks in jail, and during Wednesday's hearing, both of his probation agents recommended jail time. Kia Yanzi, his probation agent in Maryland, mentioned that she often has to contact members of his team or his attorney to get in touch with him, emphasizing that he's a grown man. Judge Althea Handy expressed confusion, saying, "I don't understand." As Assistant State's Attorney David Owens, the chief of the Misdemeanor Jury Trial Unit, explained that he had spoken with Baltimore State's Attorney Ivan Bates about the case and proposed a $25,000 fine. Judge Handy then questioned Owens, asking if there was a reason he spoke to State's Attorney Bates about the case. Owens responded that Bates had assigned him to the case and therefore was requesting the fine. Davis's attorney, Hunter Pute, urged the judge to spare his client jail time. He pointed out that Davis had fulfilled all the special requirements of his probation and had contributed to the community in various ways. Pute also mentioned that Davis had been training during this time, and the situation wasn't under the guise of doing something illegal. Judge Handy, however, noted that Davis had been spotted at a restaurant with a group of people by his probation agent in Maryland. When Pute clarified that Davis had been training in Washington, D.C., but went to Baltimore for dinner afterward, Handy responded, "You weren't training. You were out celebrating." After 2 separate discussions at the bench, Judge Handy ultimately handed down the sentence.
Thought one do the clone shit heavy. He was a dick eater. And I'm selling all my shit too.
The only way Judge Handy wants to see Gervonta Davis back in her courtroom, she said, is if he decides to attend law school and becomes an attorney. Nearly a week after Davis's surprising draw against Lamont Roach, Timothy Bradley doesn't believe Davis was exposed or that the judges made a significant mistake in calling the fight a draw. However, Bradley does think that Davis is probably a bit disappointed in himself. Bradley stated, "Tank is not overrated or anything like that. I know a lot of people are saying that, but no, styles make fights." He continued, explaining that he enjoyed the style clash between the two fighters on fight night. Bradley even streamed his live reaction to the fight on his YouTube channel, fully aware of the potential for a copyright strike. As the action heated up in the later rounds, Bradley got excited, turning the camera toward his TV screen, despite the risk. Ultimately, YouTube did take down the video, and Bradley deleted it afterward. Bradley described the fight as a shocker, saying, "If you compare Roach's biggest win to the same guy Tank fought, Hector Luis Garcia, you can see that the triangle theory in boxing doesn't always work." He added, "Tank knocked that guy out, and Roach went life and death with him and needed a knockdown to win the fight."
All that.
Shit, I just tell you about the knee. The knee was bullshit. Yeah, they made the rules up as, of course, Tank the house fighter. They made the rules up. Yeah, that was bullshit. They should have been.
Bradley was particularly impressed by Lamont Roach's ability to trade punches with Gervonta Davis and withstand the return fire. He described the situation as crazy because Roach ended up becoming the puncher in the fight. "It was so interesting," Bradley said. "There wasn't a moment when I thought Roach was hurt badly. He was stung at times, but never seriously hurt. On the other hand, there were moments when I could see Tank was buzzed, and it was extremely noticeable." Davis had his best stretch of the fight during the 5th and 6th rounds, where he outlanded Roach with a score of 19-12 in total punches and 18-10 in power punches. "I knew Tank usually steps it up after round 4, Bradley explained. "Roach was giving him all he could handle, so I was wondering if we'd finally see Tank explode and really go after Roach. But he couldn't. He tried, but Roach was so game." Bradley also commented on an incident where a knockdown wasn't called. "You can't take a break like that. Only the referee can stop the action to allow the corner to clean up and reset the fight. You don't get timeouts like that in boxing." He later reviewed the fight on replay and scored it for Roach, acknowledging several closely contested rounds. He expressed that he would have been fine with either a draw or a 115-113 score in Davis's favor. "What people need to understand is that scoring a fight on TV is very different from scoring it live," Bradley said. "Those scorecards were top-notch. The judges are the best in the business, every last one of them. So it's not like we had rookie judges on the card. To have it 114 to 114 is respectable. Having it go towards Tank is respectable too, in my opinion, though I thought Tank lost. Bradley pointed out that judges are often criticized by fans and the media, but the reality is that judges are highly trained in how to score a fight. He emphasized that, as he said before, scoring a fight in person is much different from doing it remotely. The subjectivity involved in scoring also means there can be a wide range of justifiable scores. While 115 to 113 score for Davis may not be the consensus or the most popular, it's still within the realm of possibility.
That should have been a knockdown, period. I've already went back and I watched it. Tank lost. I watched it I watched it when I wasn't scoring it. Like, yeah, people was asking me, who you think won that round? I was like, oh, very close or whatever, but because I was.
Bradley strongly believes that referee Steve Willis and the ringside officials missed a clear knockdown in the 9th round when Gervonta Davis took a knee. Bradley knows the technique of taking a knee all too well. During his 2013 battle with Ruslan Provodnikov, he endured a brutal beating, constantly testing his chin. In the final minute of that fight, Provodnikov hurt him badly, and Bradley knew he was at risk of being knocked out. To avoid that, he dropped to a knee, giving himself a brief reprieve and allowing the clock to run down. Even though he was concussed and aware he would lose a point, Bradley remained clear-headed enough to beat the count and secure a narrow decision victory. I took a knee voluntarily, so that way I wouldn't get knocked out, Bradley explained. So much like Davis, he really didn't want to exchange with Roach. He didn't want to go toe-to-toe. Roach was ready, and the 8 count happened. It's as simple as that, a no-brainer. Bradley referred to the well-established rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions, which state that it's considered a knockdown when a fighter touches the floor with any part of their body other than their feet as a result of a legal blow or series of legal blows. The only exceptions are if the fighter is being held up by the ropes or unable to protect themselves. In the 9th round, Roach struck Davis with a grazing right hand, followed by 2 jabs. Bradley believes it was the last jab that caused the eye problems that led Davis to take a knee.
A mean-ass left hook, and you got a mean-ass right hand. 2 punches that, affect the southpaw. Tank, in the beginning, I saw him trying to bait, but Roach was just really patient. Roach was patient, bro. He was tight, he was patient, and he wasn't really rushing in. And every now and then he'll...
Bradley emphasized that there's no excuse for Davis claiming he didn't know the rules about a knockdown. That's not an excuse, Bradley said. You're a professional, and you've been in the game long enough to understand the rules. In the past, Bradley has been vocal in praising Davis's skills, but has also expressed disappointment in Davis's matchmaking decisions. With Bradley's experience as a professional who was never afraid to face tough challenges, I asked him how he thought Davis was feeling after the fight. Bradley speculated, I think Tank feels like he let a lot of people down. He feels like he let himself down. He probably believes he could have done better in the fight. He kind of mismanaged it in a sense. I think he feels like he let his corner down. And his fans. I'd say he's somewhat embarrassed to a degree.
Requires you to have great timing, to be able to slip and roll shots. Like, that was some old school shit that I saw inside that ring with Roach. I was like, holy shit, he's slipping and sliding and rolling and shoulder rolling, stepping back, slipping to the side, using that step 45, bam, coming back with the...
Bradley acknowledged that there's a chance Davis might not be feeling the way he speculated. It's possible that Tank feels differently. Maybe he's thinking, I'll revisit this when I want to, and no one's going to tell me what to do. It's a draw. The judges have it, and it is what it is. I'm moving on. However, Bradley's competitive spirit showed when he added, but if I were Tank, to be honest with you, I'd definitely revisit this. And that's all for now. For the latest updates on the biggest moments, events, and action in the world of boxing, make sure to stay connected by subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our quality content. Until next time, peace out.